How's everybody doing? So, this afternoon it occurred to me that I should, seeing as my import cards are out of date, I should really go and show you guys a little bit more of an up-to-date version. Really don't think that's changed. Changed since the days, like since my last guide was just the material INI files. But yeah, so today I will be doing a test import of the Type 22. I do need to fix a few things that I might have forgotten. I'm sure it's fine. But I've just finished doing the textures, or at least my first draft of the textures, and I've got all my groups all set up over here. So we've got our deck, I've got door 1 and 2. Those will have to change later because of the way the animations will have to work. We've got our hull, I got the miss, and something I will need to add is the rails. I have not added rails yet. That's something that's going to have to happen. Because I know somebody who is very fond of their rails. So I need to make sure I put them in. Otherwise I'll hear about it. And then yeah, we've got the stands. And these are going to be submodels purely for the reason of just being able to take them off later. And that's keeping in mind of the batch 3 model of the Type 22. So, to get this going, I've already started importing all my stuff into the user directory. I've got my ship folder. I've made my actual vessel folder to do it all, and now I'm just setting up the texture files. So I did the whole material before. I'm just currently doing the deck ones now. And when you do it, it should look more or less like this, with the pathing, with all your location pathing all set correctly. So for me, all my textures are currently sitting in this folder. So the pathing is ships, Type 22 textures, and then we have it all here. So putting the albino or the base color map, or whatever however you want to say it, in there first. I have a normal map, which goes in there. Normal map controls all of the bumps and heights that you see on the surface of the texture. And then we've got the spec map. Spec map, very important for controlling reflection, lighting. It can add more depth to the model, because you can have like grunge dirt in the texture itself, and you won't be able to, like, you don't have to have any color changes, but you could have you can adjust the roughness so that when the lighting goes over it, you can see it, and that in my mind is very important, because nobody wants to just see a flat surface. Like, we don't have them in real life, so why should we have them in the game? And then the last one is going to be the misc mat file. Now, I didn't have to break it up into 3 different groups. Could have done it all in one. I will lose a lot of detail if I did it like that. So this will impact performance a little bit, because these are all in 2K sizes. Standard for C power is 1K. I am definitely not as efficient with my UV maps and my texturing workflow as what like Niels and the devs are. They are masters at that stuff, and they do it the hard way too. They primarily try to keep everything, all of the image lines, to be like either horizontal or vertical. And the reason why they do that is because then then you can get, like, you can make it super sharp while keeping it at a lower resolution. You don't have to have it at a high res. If you're going to have lots of curves and angles, that's when you really need to have a higher resolution with a lot of AA applied to it. So yeah, so granted, I'm nowhere near their level. Alright, so we've got our initial stuff all set up here. So the OBJ file, the material files, and the textures are on there. Next up I need to is the vessel file. I've recently just kind of pulled back all of my folders in my user folder because I was doing a lot of beta testing. So now I need a good base. Now fortunately for me, I already know that there is a Type 22 on the workshop done by Brother Munro, and I've already got prior permission. He has no problem with me using it, using that as a base. So all I gotta do now is just find it in my workshop folders. For C-Power, the workshop numbers is this one here, so 1286.22.0. So if you ever want to find your workshop folders, that's the number to look for. And eventually I will scroll onto it. Nope. That does remind me, I do need to get the AND working, and here we go. Alright, so in this one, all I really want I think it's okay. Really all I want is just the vessel stuff. But in this situation I'll just copy it all. And paste it all in here. So I got all those files. We are doing batch 1. Okay, so very important thing to do when it comes to doing this initial import stage is you need to make sure all the mounts and stuff are disconnected. And what I mean by that is, say for example here, we got mount propeller. I just want to set that to dummy. And reason being is that disconnects it from the submodels. So when we have, so when the game loads things up, if it comes across a system that it cannot find an associated submodel part for it, it will break. And it will say, nope, not going to work today. And you'll be left there with an empty screen, and that's just frustrating for some people. So I just need to go through, make sure, I just do this to all of the systems, because the mounts don't matter. They'll matter later as I put things in, but for the time being they don't matter. And it looks like Brother Munro just did a lot of crossing out. Easy way to do it, just put a hash in front of that. If you just want to keep it in there and you don't want to touch anything else, just put a hash there in front of the brackets, and that cancels it. The other thing you can do is turn that number to 0, because right now what it does is the script goes and looks at everything that says weapon systems, then it looks up to a maximum number of 9. So I'm just going to disable all of these weapons for now, because I'm not going to need them yet. I will use them, but just not yet. Oh, I could have left chaff. That's fine. And magazines are fine. They don't have a mount associated with them. Decoys. I've never played with decoys. Okay. Oof. I will disable at level of detail. Yeah. Reason being is because I just don't want to mess with Lord at the moment. And then for the rest of this stuff, well, in all honesty, I can just delete pretty much nearly all of this, because I really don't need every single submodel line. I don't even need that technically. Alright, so next part. So we are going to our file directory, so ships, and then it's going to be type 22. This is going to be where I put the obj file, which is just type 22.obj. File extensions are needed. And then next thing is so resource mesh, that is the base mesh group. So in this situation it's going to be whole. That's going to be my base. And fortunately this is just going to be a draft, so I don't care about the depth. But this is going to be, because I'm well above the z-axis here. Well, high in the y-axis, I should say. We're going to be floating above the water, but you know, this is just going to be a test, so that's no drama. But yeah, so we're going to go and put whole here. That's referencing the actual model group inside the obj file. Damage model I'm not going to worry about today. And then for this one, it's referencing, it's looking in this directory for the map file. If I want to look in a different place, then I need to go and do resource material folder and define the location of that map file. But generally speaking, it wants to keep it in the same place, you'll be fine. So cheers, Colin. Alright, so that's going to be wholemap.ini, because this is an imported file. It's not a base game cpower folder. And then next thing we got to do is so I don't need to set a submodel for this. So the whole is just going to come into the game. What I do need is the deck, and I need actually I'll put that as misc door 1, door 2, and I don't really care about the stands at the minute, but I'll put them in regardless. And I don't need those for the moment. Now, because I've defined everything, I don't have a damage mesh to worry about. Not yet. That's going to be a later thing. I don't need to worry about the resource material folder because everything's in the one place. So mesh, For this one, it's going to be deck, and the material file is going to be deck underscore mat.ini, and I'm just going to call that one deck, of course. I'm going to keep the trans because I will be using that later. A whole number I will be using later. Emblem, maybe. I'll just keep it there for the moment. But basically, all this other stuff, I am just going to get rid of for now. I'm not going to hash it all out. It's not necessary. Better check this. So go to the flight deck, which is normally always at the top. And I just want to make sure that the elevator is set to dummy. Yep. Cool. So I don't need to worry about that. Breaking the animation links is fine. There's nothing. That's not going to crash it. So I don't need to worry about that part. Yeah, man. Keep the flags. Get rid of crew. If I'm going to do crew, it's going to be handled differently. Haha. Don't need ASRox. Alright. So what do we need? So we've got deck. Need MISC. We're gonna go and put these bits in there. What was that one? That one's set to whole. Set that one to MISC. And the stands are set to MISC. So I've done the deck, door 1 and 2, hole, MISC, stand 1 and 2. Cool. That is it. That is everything I need for this. So, in theory, I should be able to just load this in now. Next fun part is going to be putting the prop in that in. It's not a big problem. It's more of a minor nuisance that I forgot it. Oh yeah, scale. That's another thing I forgot. She looks a little bit funny. Okay, so I need to go back and check this. That's fine. But the deck texture hasn't spawned in. They are all... They're all set. And we got deck underscore mat. So that should be working. Okay. Sometimes, and I don't know why, I gotta do this. Defining the resource folder. And I shouldn't need to. It is the type thing because you can see how it's translucent there. Normally that's an indicator that the faces are inverted. Which they should not be. Because I don't have like yeah, I don't have it all set in there. They're on the right spots. Ships, type, textures, yep. There is also a log that will be generated whenever you load in a new model. So this just confirms all the object groups, and it can see them all. Yeah, this will eventually go on the workshop. I'm just not entirely... Okay, you know what, that's annoying me. What is the size of a Type 22 batch 1? It was 131 meters, 0.2. Cool. So I'm going to select all, I'm going to click that, bring up this little thing here, and then currently we're sitting at 37 meters, so guess what? I'm going to make it bigger. What did I say? 131. Close enough. And how far off did I get on the beam? Actually, no, I'm way off. The all I can say is Blender is fun when it comes to its dimensions and stuff. Like, you can see here, it's like that is pointing, that is saying that is the y-axis, which in reality is the z-axis and everything else. But if you look at the dimensions, that is true. It's saying that's the z-axis. So I don't understand why they opted to flip everything, but they did, and I don't know why. Alright, so we don't need to keep looking at the facing. I do want to set, while I'm at it, I might as well go and set the the actual height that she sits in the water. So to do that, I'm just going to import the texture in here. So I want that one. Link it. Go back in here, click this little icon up on the top left. So that's just your flat. This one loads the textures, and I want to click that back on so I can see it all. And then select all. Apparently didn't have everything selected. We're gonna just drop it to about there. Okay, now next step, I need to go and get the export measurements, scale measurements. Just bear with me for a second. Now, I don't know if it's in, I'll have to go double check. But if you ever want to know what to export scale at, it's this number here. That is the default scale size that Unity works with. Don't know why, it's just what they do. So I'm just going to take that number and go to export, OBJ. I'm going to select my thing there, go to scale, import that right there, export, bring up all my little directories. Throw that across. And boom, that's scaled in. Now I need to work out why does it not want to load that particular submodel? Actually, I've worked it out. Some INI files, they don't care about the number of submodels that you define. Some do care. So if you see it, don't delete it. It will save you a headache. Just gotta find the type 22 folder again. There it is. Yeah, it's complaining because of that. Like, I don't need it, but it's complaining. And I will set the number, otherwise I will end up with a long error log. Yeah, there we go. My frames are running like shit at the moment, but hey. So I think that's a bake problem, so I'm going to have to go back into Substance Painter and fix that. And the mist textures are in, but they're not in. like, that is very bright. Don't know if that's just because of the position of the sunlight. Yeah, could be. I am gonna need to go and fix that because that is ugly. I have to close that. That doesn't look right. Hmm. Okay, that's being caused by something in the actual material file. And I reckon okay, it's that. Alright, that's easy. That was super shiny. Okay, I'll re-export all these. I don't need to keep that open. And I don't care about those. round 2. She is very bright. Very bright. Like, I feel like I've done something wrong level of brightness. Just load that in. Cool, boat's gone. That's fine. Just means it separated it properly. But yeah, this is very, very bright. Like, it shouldn't be this bright. But if I subscribe to Invincible, yeah, I am definitely gonna have to do something, because there's something that's making this very bright unnecessarily. Whoops, wrong button. So anyway, so let's get Invincible in, because it should pretty well match next to Pepperadas. Petropuvius. Don't ask me to pronounce shit. But yeah, I do a lot of work with him, so yeah, his is not as shiny as what this one is.
All back. I'll stop. Maneuvering eye.
Oops. Oh, and it's backwards. Okay. It doesn't look backwards. Oh dear, but apparently it is backwards. Now, what I'll do is swap that. F10, respawn, ta-da! And that is, sorry, yeah, that is way too bright. Way too bright. So, okay, in GIMP, I can go to, this is the spec map, and I can go to component, decompose, want to decompose into GW, G, red, green, blue, and alpha. And if I get rid of that one, these should all look the same. This one though, so in this one you can see the grunge map. And this is all about, yeah, creating all those different sort of shadings and stuff on the surface. But it's, see how this is all grey? Like it's like a tan level grey. That's making the surface more reflective, and we don't want that. We want the surface to be a lot less reflective than that. So that means it's an issue with my spec map. So the fun part is, means I gotta, because my C-Power does not like running at the same time as Substance Painter. Substance Painter is very GPU intensive. Let's see. Just if we go to roughness, we can see it's already it's pretty damn shiny. And then metallic is not that bad. bit. So there is, so I know that's doing something with the spec map. Should not be that. Oh, maybe I just stuffed it a little bit. That's much better. Need to do the same thing with the deck. Because, yeah, we don't want, we do not want all this stuff to be shiny. Like, it shouldn't be white. It should be more like a grey, if anything. So that's just me being a bit silly with how I set my values. Okay. Export all these. Save it. And next round. Sadly, it is always a lot of just going back and forth, because you find a problem and then you go and fix it. Then you find the next problem and you go off and fix that one. It does get easier as you become more familiar with the common problems and how to approach them and everything. Oh. And you still look very shiny. Okay. What is creating all that gloss? Ah, well, at least I can see these little panel lines that I put in there. That's all being handled by reflections from the roughness map. It's too clean for my liking. It's getting more of like a blue tinge from something. Okay. having a think. Because the color I've picked is one of the official colors. But it is.
Ahead 1/3. I'll stop. Maneuvering aye.
Just not right. Alright, you have a good night, Cohen. See ya. to see how this turns out. I'm still not super happy. But I will continue to tweak it and see if I can take some of this sort of brightness out of it. Definitely need to darken a few areas. But yeah, no worries. So that was a sort of a quick rundown of how to get a model into the game. Doesn't do anything yet. Besides, it can move. But I'll be setting up all the submodel stuff later.